the strive to create better education towards promoting wide recognition and teachings of the diverse cultures, and the implementation of the power of individualism towards achieving a dynamic inner structure of community. The application of these principles will help towards improve existing issues surrounding cultural barriers, social injustice, and the struggle in establishing a clear definition of Australian national identity. Australia in today's diverse society still endures the struggle to resolve cultural barriers existing in social hierarchy system. An example of such issue is commonly found in workplace communications, which has created misunderstandings and conflicts due to differences in non-verbal behaviour, personal space, religion, and personal appearance. In order to lessen the barrier, respect in learning to understand the relationship between the sexes and the role assigned in various cultures will provide an insight into how staff from particular cultural groups might respond in an Australian work context. And more to a practical approach, the more the organisation offers diverse employees to whom the community can relate to in terms of language and identity, and the more we look like the community we serve, the less the distance and fewer the barriers to engage them, as we continue to break down the concept of us and them. However, there is still public uncertainty about what Australians hold in common, as it hasn't been long since the transformation of Australian national identity from Anglo-Celtic to multicultural. So there is a lingering suspicion that multiculturalism would lead to a socially harmful division, and it nearly came true in the recent events of the Cronulla riots in 2005. A protest in response of incidents of assaults by groups of young men who were identified as outsiders or non-locals. In order to avoid such disharmony, a strong social cohesion must be established through respect from both ends of the cultures. I believe that the local government should play a more active role in driving the policies of community, strengthening and community engagement through the acceptance of cultural diversity by providing the newcomers the right to honour their heritage and religion so that they can feel a sense of belonging, but also carrying them an obligation to adhere to the values and standards of the National Civic Compact, including commitment to Australian government system, rule of law, equality under law, and participation in civic life. Therefore, the utmost respect of one's cultural identity creates a foremost step towards building a stronger community within a multicultural environment. Another major foundation is the limitless power of education and its system. It is through education in home, school, or university that one gains knowledge and the development of certain attitude towards multiculturalism. The disciplinary of teachings should be extended to the learning of different cultures and recognizing the sensitive values and beliefs associated with it as to raise awareness within the school community. In the contemporary society, many migrant students from non-English background are struggling like I did first, particularly the difficulty in communication competence and cultural attitude. Therefore, at the policy-making level, I recommend that government should place more emphasis on schools or any other educational institutions to serve as a community for social, cultural, and intellectual interactions. I also suggest that schools should be the nucleus of the community centre. Joint planning of schools by educational, health, welfare, and cultural agencies could provide additional facilities for school and allowing the community to access its resources. In this way, a link could be forged between school, family, and the community at large. This creates an engaging community with a support system, specifically for the migrant children. However, education should also be extended beyond classrooms and also focus on the media coverage of cultural events and current issues, such as the controversy of refugees. This brings me to the topic of the existence of social injustice, to the refugees in which today it is the centre of debate about Australia's future. The settlements of refugees evoke emotion and controversy in the context of nationalism, identity, power, and politics. And some perceive refugee settlement in threatening social cohesion. However, during my recent visit with the two refugee sisters from Somalia, they talked me through about their Muslim Girls Collective South Australia group to raise awareness and connect other women to fun activities, and also given the chance to create their own great experiences. Despite living in a multicultural society, the sisters Ramla and Lockie explained the feeling of isolation and lack of support by the community. My perception had completely changed, as I realised the girls had made a significant impact on the community, not only empowering other young people, but also breaking down stereotypes and social barriers and developing to a true sense of community. According to Oscar Wilde, society exists only as a mental concept. In the real world, there are only individuals, and I couldn't agree more. Individuals are what makes a community, but to strengthen the community, certain attitudes need to be adopted. And this comes from my own experience in my own social group. I've got friends from all different races: Polish, Indian, Australian, Spanish, Egyptian, you name it. And despite our differences in culture, tradition, appearance, and colour, we work together harmoniously with respect and unity, because we are young, independent, free-thinking individuals with great respect for political freedom and civil rights. However, in the present day of our modern nation, ethnic diversity still remains a key and pressing issue. And there is still a little active tradition of racism and xenophobia. I believe that individuals need to take on a diplomatic approach to let go of the conservative attitude and embrace the multicultural future, as Australia's national identity is constantly changing, potentially exclusive and diverse. Multiculturalism has completely altered the fundamental fabric of Australian society. It is through respect, education, and individualism that Australia can truly achieve a stronger community. And that is what holds us all together, united. As the Australian song, "We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia." Thank you.